Hello, my darlings. Welcome to, what would we call this season? Today is June the 20th. It has been unseasonably cold here in southwestern Virginia, unseasonably dry until the day before yesterday, when all of a sudden it began to monsoon around here and the sun's not supposed to come out for 7 days actually, which is a lot. But here is the garden. Now, I love to include my gardening on my astrology channel because I'm a good Taurus, but also because nothing demonstrates to us as much that to everything there is a season than the garden, right? And some years, some things thrive, and some years they don't. And some years, you let the elderberry get too big, and some years you are smart enough to prune it back. So just a little cruise through the garden. I believe it's about to start raining yet again. So definite successes. I put in this brand new little corabells. The valerian's gone bonkers. I have learned to deadhead it so that it doesn't come up everywhere. The apples are not feeling very happy. Ever-bearing strawberries are beautiful, although I have yet to have a berry. But they are pretty. I've got some interesting spinach. Only one plant came up here, and that has been the story for a lot of the garden this year. Bless me, bless everyone. I've done a lot of planting, and germination has been slow. A lot of what you're seeing here, self-sowed. So the borage planted itself from last year. Same with the calendula, the nasturtium tucked in here. I've gotten more calendula. Calendula is clearly one of the stars of the garden this year, as well as the bee balm, which is about to pop. Bee balm likes to be moved every couple years. It's like an apartment dweller that's like, man, I need a better view. Versus some of the things that prefer to stay. This will be hopefully alive with zinnias here shortly. More borage. Fun new cucumber I tried this year. Last year I couldn't grow a cucumber to save my life. This year, look, it's June 20th and I've already got beautiful little cucumbers everywhere. I see pickles. The beets seem happy. The carrots need to be thinned. That's another thing that gardening teaches me. I'm terrible at thinning. I want everything to grow, but there's not enough room for everything, is there? The dill this year coming on early. Maybe the dill knew the cucumbers were coming on early and knew the pickles needed to be made. We're going to have a boatload of sunflowers here. I hope we're here to see them. We're doing a bunch of traveling this summer. Cleome coming up with the cosmos. Always a beautiful bright light in the garden. This came from my father's garden, so it's a good memory. As did this incredible calla lily, came from my dad's garden, and here it is still, even in its last throes, looking just stunning, just exquisite. Apple not looking so great. I don't know what this rust is, but it's everywhere, and I'm having some random die off, so I see a hard pruning coming in the apple tree's future. Tomatoes seem to be doing well, although I think it's going to be a really short season. I already have incredible amounts of blight, and I'm picking it off every day. Here's another thing. You think you know what you're planting, right? I thought this was a bush bean. It's clearly a pole bean. It clearly needs a support. So that needs to take place sometime in the next day or two. Look at this thistle. Prickly thistle. Uh-oh. She's got an aphid situation. She might need to come out then. I love to grow thistle. It makes me think of Scotland, where my daughter went to school, and I have heritage. This bean tower should be beautiful this year. Excited about that. Some sunflowers were ready to pop. All of these sunflowers self-seeded, except for maybe 3 or 4 that I planted. It should be the year of the sunflower. Super fun calendula. I got a package of seeds last year. I planted them in here, and I must have had 25 plants in this little triangle. Look at all I have this year. The only thing that's come up is these 2 peppers and this basil. This giant hole in the center here. I will probably plant some late basil there. All the tomatoes. And fun new little rows. Hopefully functioning compost pile. More sunflowers. Again, these all self-seeded, and hidden amongst them are some amaranth, some yellow, and some of this beautiful amaranth that's already blooming. All this pink and purple amaranth, I can't remember the name of it, but she all self-sowed, self-seeded. And then behind her is this is just one blackberry bush that is just clearly very happy here, mingling with the asparagus and the crabgrass. All right, not much going on in the greenhouse this time of year. It's hella hot in there. Gonna have some lovely hollyhocks coming up. They're biennials, so the greens come up the first year and then the stalks throw the next year, so that's always useful. Some medicinal herbs here. More dill for days. The fun walking onions, Egyptian walking onions. Some lavender. If you have any spots that are super dry and like not so great soil, lavender is your friend. In fact, I read somewhere that they're using it in the coal fields of West Virginia to recuperate the land. Mother Nature has the answers, friends. We just never ask the right questions, it seems. Still having some chives. Such a strange year, right? At least it is here. This is a zucchini trying to come on. I'm trying to keep the zucchini bugs at bay, the squash bugs. So I'm looking for their little seed packets under here. I keep scraping them off. I don't know what happens if they land on the ground though. See, there they are. They look like little copper jewels, but you got to get them off of there. Also got some volunteer Tulsi. This is a marvelous variety of Tulsi, but for some reason I planted seeds and they're not coming up. So I don't know if they're the kind where, the seed companies make them inert so that they won't grow, which is really uncool, by the way. Kale needs to be hard harvested. Look at the sedum. She's gone bonkers. The world's tallest fennel. This overwintered, this fennel. Isn't she magnificent? I wish I liked her fronds better. I like the bulb, but I'm not big on the fronds. Elecampane, something ate it or got to it, so it's not looking so great. Some more beans here. Hopefully they'll be covering the arch soon. The defender of the garden. This is it is a motion activated sprayer. So like if you step in front of it, it will spray you. Trust me, it works. It's gotten me quite a few times this year. Some echinacea. Oh, look, a bee. Our friends, the bees. All right, don't look over here. This is a bit of a hot mess. Strawberries, which clearly are taken over. This was originally 3 plants, and this is just 2 seasons, so borderline invasive. See, look, I just planted this little lavender in this stump. It gets very dry and very hot. Ooh, look at these sunflowers. They are going to be so fun. Yarrow, gone crazy. I bought this thinking it would be medicinal, but apparently the colored ones are not medicinal. These beds I'm letting go to seed. That's my favorite spinach, going to seed, so I'll try to preserve those seeds. This is one sage plant that I planted, I want to say at the beginning of last year. Also, same time, I just planted that last year. They are clearly grooving together, and that's falling over. That's all cilantro that's going to seed. I'm just going to let them spray those seeds everywhere, so we'll have cilantro in the fall. Garlic looking grumpy. Sorry, it was not a good garlic year. More beans. Wild spinach, I call this. Slam's quarters. It's considered an invasive weed, but you can eat the leaves. I like to keep them around. It's kind of like my emergency food. And then if we don't need them and I have plenty of other greens, then the chickens get them. Yeah, so the upper garden is totally dominated this year by this elderberry bush, which is not really a bush. It's becoming a tree. I'm going to need to whack that back. That and all these glorious milkweed, which just, the fragrance is just incredible. You step out here and it's just this honey scent. I don't see a whole lot of insects at the moment, but that's probably because it's been pouring. Some hollyhocks coming up in here, and some black raspberry canes, which are elbowing their way into the upper beds. Got a little mix with flowers. Most of these are volunteers here. I do have a tomato or two. Some more thyme. This gorgeous phlox backed up by some nettle. I've taken several cuttings of this nettle, but look at what's that yellowness? Why is it yellow? Here's the thing with gardening, man. The garden, just every year, some things flourish and just grow with ease. You don't have to do anything, and other things you need to baby and tend and love and take care of. And it just really shows you there's a rhythm. And the ideal is to do your best and try to stay unattached. Have your backup systems in place. Enjoy what flourishes in the time of its flourishment. And let die what no longer works, what no longer lives, what no longer, its season is extinguished, yeah? Another thing for me that's important to come out here and keep track of the garden is that it's really easy for me to stand up on my deck, covered with the painter's cloth that I didn't get put away, and see only the things I haven't done. Only see the weeds in the paths, only see the hugel that needs to be shaped up, only see the weeds, right? And not see the beauty. And your life is like that too. It's sometimes really easy to see what's wrong and what needs to be fixed, and it's harder to pay attention to what's really exquisite and beautiful until the winter comes and it's gone. So enjoy the beauty today, my friends, whether it's my garden or yours. Namaste.